As I say, you children don't realise how fortunate you are. At Christmas time now, you'd ask for a present and you'd usually get it, don't you? Well, when we were little, I was lucky if I had a skipping rope. That was a big present. And the boy would have a spinning top. That's all they would have for Christmas. And in their stocking, they would have an apple, orange, and a couple of nuts and a couple of sweets. And that was their stocking. See how things have changed. You wouldn't have liked. We didn't know no difference, so it didn't matter. And everybody was in the same boat anyway. I mean, if somebody had a toy gun, everybody was round them. Because it was unusual, for anybody to have anything different. We were all in the same. And little boys, how old are you? 10. Well, when they were 14, they left school. They left school on the Friday, and they were in the pits working on the Monday. They had to go because that's the only way they could live.
I really like cars. And how much has cars and transport changed?
When I was little, well, we used to have a railway that went through the mountain, through the tunnel, and you could go through there for 2 pence. But that was a lot of money in those days, see?
Today, Mum.
The
old 2 pence.
The old 2 pence, that would be like 1 pence now. But it was a lot of money. But you could go through the tunnel, and in a half an hour you was at Aberavon seaside. Go straight to Aberavon town. So...
Did you have a car?
Oh, don't be funny. Nobody had cars in there, only shopkeepers. That was the only people that had cars, and doctors. They have changed a bit, but they still got 4 wheels, haven't they? But nobody had cars in those days because, well, they just didn't have money to buy them.
The buses have changed, haven't they?
Buses, well, up in Blancombe, whenever, there was no buses or anything going up there. You had to walk from there down to the church down by here and catch a tram. A tram used to go in the middle of the road on wheels. And when I was 10 rather, 11, I'm missing it. I passed my 11 plus, so I went to Porth to school, much to my whatever, because I thought my mother wouldn't let me go, but she did. But I had to walk from Blancombe down to there and catch a tram then down to Porth. It used to take me an hour. On the tram, without the walk. Yeah, well, I remember the Aberfan disaster, but I was older then, of course. But with mining, everybody, there was no other jobs here then, only the mines. And they had, in old money, they were having £2, 10 shillings a week for a family. We were 8 because we were 6 children, and we had to live on that. And that was half the money you got now. That was only just over £1 in this money. And we had to live on that, all of us. We were lucky. My father had a allotment, so we used to grow his own vegetables. So we were lucky there. He kept chickens, so we had our own eggs. So we were one of the lucky ones there. But... I was alive when the big miners' strike was in 1926. And then all the children in Blancombe had to go to Blancombe School for dinner into the soup kitchens because the parents didn't have money to buy food for them, see? And they used to send parcels from London to the schools to distribute it amongst the poor children. Well, I remember I was working in Polycoffs at the time, and we remember the disaster because my son, brother, they went over to try and help, you know, but there was such a lot of help there that they weren't needed anyway. But that was terrible. Oh, it was terrible. But I've been to the cemetery and seen the cemetery, you know, but it was a whole generation wiped out, wasn't it? Well, I lived in London for 9 years and doing different things. I was a domestic, I was a nursemaid, there was different things. But I had a friend living there as well. Her brother was from down here, her husband was from down here, so we got friendly. Well, we used to go and play tennis in Wimbledon. Well, I was never with the Warriors, but I played there. And I played badminton, and I played at Queen's, and we used to go swimming. Well, I did quite a bit. And I often went to Hyde Park and Kensington Gardens. They had got a big lake there, the Serpentine, you know that. You've heard of the Serpentine, haven't you? Well, on a Sunday you could go there and you could hire a boat for 3p. That's about 1.5 in this money. And I hired a boat to go out and row out, which I did. But I got too near the side, I got stuck in the mud, didn't I? And I couldn't get my boat out. Okay, well, there's 2 young lads came along. Aye, they said, you in trouble? I can't get my boat out, they said. Oh, they said, oh, get into this boat now, we'll get into yours and get it out for you. So when they got into my boat, anyway, they said, move away now. Oh, by the way, he said, that one's due in now in 5 minutes. I'd only just had mine out. They swapped bloody boats, haven't they? That teach me not to take people at face value. And they seemed so nice, the boys did. But they did me out of a boat. I had paid for that one. I had 5 minutes. Well, I lived in London till 1939. I came home because of the war, because I didn't want to be in the war, so I came back home, and then I got married, and I had my son, and my son was killed in a motorbike accident when he was 17. He was 17 on the 3rd, and he died on the 13th. Friday the 13th it was. But her father then, he worked in the colliery, and he was what they call a fireman, and he was gassed in the colliery.
And he was only 6 weeks old.
And she was only 6 weeks old when he died. So I brought them up then, and I was manageress of the colliery canteen, and we had snow that winter, and the snow right up to there, at least up to there, if not more. And to get me from my house up in Blancombe, my mother's house, to the canteen, they had to dig a channel, and they had the miners dig a channel through for me to get there, so that I could serve the colliers with tea and sandwiches, you know. And I've travelled. You name the places, I've been there. I've travelled a lot with my brother. My brother took me, and one year we went to Mexico. A tour of Canada, from the east right over to Vancouver to the west. On that tour, we took about 4 buses and 7 planes to go over, because some was too far to go on a bus, so you had to take a plane. But and then from there, after we'd done those 2, then he said, oh, well, we'll have a fortnight down with Malta. So we went to Malta then, and we've done
3.5 our 80s now, you're talking.
And we've done 5 cruises. We've cruised the Mediterranean, Africa, the Caribbean, you name it, we've done it.
Well, that's inspirational.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You know.
What you've done on your holidays, though. Tell them what you've done.
Oh, when I was in Egypt, well, everybody rides a camel, don't they? So I rode a camel. That was nothing. I did climb the outside of the pyramid, up so far as far as you could go. You was allowed to go. Climbed that.
And how old were you, Olive, when you did that?
Oh, about 76. Oh, yes, I wasn't young. And then I went up in a hot air balloon. And I came down. My brother was supposed to go with me, but he was ill that day, so he couldn't go. So I told the man, and it cost £90. Wasn't cheap. And I said to him, look, my brother paid to go on this, and he couldn't come because he wasn't well. When are you going back? Not till Monday. Well, if you come over Saturday, tell him he can have his trip on Saturday. I said, I'll make you a deal. He said, and what's that? He let me go half price. I said, and I'll come as well. And I did, so I done 2 trips in the balloon. And then we, in Mexico, we rode squads. Oh yes, and I was nearly 80 then, because they put my photo in the mirror, the one that was advertising the trips, you know. Lady 80 on squad, on my photo. Oh, you name it, I've done it.